Hey everyone, welcome back to another video, the Blue Surf Trading channel. We just finished the GAN swing video and move on over to the ES futures. And we're going to look at the swing failure patterns. If I remember correctly, when I did this back test, I did find some signals that I didn't take because I didn't like what the indicator was broadcasting, and there were also some signals that the indicator didn't catch that I ended up taking. So we're using the Lux Algo swing failure pattern and the three EMAs, the 50, the 100, and the 150. So we got Monday, June 16th, starting at 10 a.m. We're not going to take the against the trend signals. Here's the first one. So here's your swing up, swing down. There's your swing failure right there. Your entry would go here. As you can see, it's good for 3 points. Now, I don't take the other trades within the same wave. So here's another signal. Here's another signal. So the correction just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Well, actually, I took this one. In the back test, I didn't take this for some reason. So that's another 3 points. I didn't think I was... My rules for taking trades during a correction usually is that I only take the first or the second trade, but all right, we'll still count it, but normally. Your rules when you create a trade setup are going to be different than mine. They're going to be different than other people on YouTube. They're going to be different than a lot of other traders. Once you have those rules, you should probably stick to them, because if you're changing the rules with each trade or after these trades, or it can get really crazy. So if you're using a technical setup, a mechanical setup, make sure you have your rules. That's the one thing about backtesting, is when you see things that have already happened, sometimes it messes with you a little bit, and it kind of makes you do things on the chart during your back test that you wouldn't normally do. So I think this is one of those examples here. So be careful back testing, because it'll mess with your head a little bit. Forward testing is the way to go on a demo account, a paper account, or a prop firm evaluation account. That's where you really learn how to trade, not looking at a back test. But you do have to back test to become profitable and to make sure that your system works. All right, there's my rant. So that's a pretty big correction. It just keeps going and going and going, as you see. There's your first loss, -2. Here is your swing down. I don't really like this setup here because there was no swing here. This is an inside bar. But if you're counting this as the swing, then, but it didn't close above the swing. So that's a crappy version of this indicator. So it evens out, okay? The trade that I shouldn't have taken back here because it was part of this bigger correction. And then you have a trade that the indicator probably shouldn't have, that we probably shouldn't have taken. But so the back test has evened us out a little bit. Here's a nice against the trend right here, but we're not taking those, and we're not going to take this trade either. All right, that's Monday. We got 4 points. Not bad on the, we're on the E-mini this time. We did the other back test, the GAN swing back test on the micro E-mini. So 4 points on the E-mini would have been about $200, and on the Micro, it'll be about 20. We'll go to Tuesday. Here's a swing down. Nice wicked candle. Probably a Rob Hoffman inventory retracement bar. Stop, buy stop right there, and you get your 3 points. Here's a signal that the indicator didn't shoot off, but I thought it was good. Here's your swing. Candle closes above. It's also a wiki Rob Hoffman IRB candle. Stop above it, 3 points. This is below the moving average, and it's a trap. It takes out the liquidity here and here. I wouldn't have taken this in my tests, but some people like to take things like this, and if you did, it was a heck of a trade. Here's what I like to take right here. Above the moving averages, it's a loss, but just barely, 0.85. You get to 0.85. You don't get to the top, I don't think. So, like I said, we were talking about rules earlier. At what point do you put your stop to break even and then stop this loss from happening? But in this back test, we're doing either wins or losses. We're not moving the stop. Here's one that I didn't take because there's really no swing here. Like if this candle would have broken this candle's low, then I would have taken it. It's just a sweepy candle here. It's a great setup because it's a great signal bar off the EMA, but I didn't take it in this back test. You could also take this. Here's your first Gann swing. And so if this is the correction, here's your wave 1, wave 2, and then you could have put in your stop here. But since we didn't take that, we'll just move on to the next one. It'll be a slow day. Here's a nice reversal right here, but maybe I should do a separate video just for reversal, see if we can get profitable trades for the days and the weeks just using the reversals. All right, it's after 3, so move on to the next. Wednesday. We're not going to, I don't know if we did Thursday this week or not because it was a holiday. Really nice move here. Great signal bar. But let's stick to the swing failure patterns. Here's another one of those big moves. You're below the moving average. Do you take this? I didn't want to take it in this setup. Here's your first trade. Great signal bar here. Closes below. The indicator didn't shoot this one off. It's a loss. And then comes right back up, and it looks like here's what the indicator gave you, and that's a win. So cancel them out, -2 and 2. And then here's another great trade right here. A, B, C, great signal bar, swing failure pattern, 2 points. You could have gotten a lot more. Like I said, I'm sticking to the 1-to-1. Here is one of those against the trend. It works. Here's a great one at, well, it's not great. It's, like I said, it's one of those ones that the indicator, well, yeah, you could count it as this swing. Okay, great move, but I didn't take it because it's past 3 o'clock. All right, moving on to Thursday. Let's see if there's anything here. Here's a nice signal. I didn't take these because I skipped Thursday. All right, we'll go on to Friday. I actually remember this trade happening in real time. This all happened in like a couple of seconds, if I remember correctly. So it's a big move, 13 points. Candle sweeps, closes down. Nice reversal. Didn't take that, obviously. Here is a move that this candle closes up above this swing. I took this, the indicator did not, it could be because these look like equal highs. Perhaps this is one tick above this. So instead of an A, B, C move and then a swing, maybe this is the first move down right here. But I took it in the back test, -4 points. Here's another one here. Trying to see why I took this. Because of this candle. Okay, so if I counted this as a Gann swing and then this candle swept, but then the entry will be here. So what is this? Okay, I'm at a loss. I don't know why I took this. So we'll skip that. Great swing here if you're taking reversals, but like I said, we're not doing that. Getting late in the day. All right, total 11 points because of that big 13-point move, but we're going to remove 2 points from this because of that weird phantom trade. I don't know what this is. All right, total of 9 points. So it's another good week on the swing failure patterns. They continue to be a pretty good foundation if you were trading this. This is kind of my foundation, or I have a couple different ones, but and then I have some scalping that I do on the 40 range. I'm going to do some videos about that in the future. Hope you enjoyed the video. I think I'm going to put this video out after the Gann swing video. So if you haven't watched the Gann swing, go find it on the channel. And I'll see you in the next video. It's Monday, the 23rd of June, and I hope you have a good trading week. And thanks a lot for watching. Later.